So I stumbled upon an Instagram and TikTok trend that has been blowing up this winter, and it is absolutely perfect for crocheters. When I saw this, I was like all in because I feel like I'm kind of over the top anyway. I love velvet, I love fake fur, like I'm all about it. When I saw that the mob wife aesthetic trend was popular this winter, I'm like, I gotta jump on this. Opportunity is knocking. I don't want this to slip by me. If you're like me, you've probably got some yarns in your yarn stash that might have been hanging around for a while and you don't really know quite what to do with. I wanted to pass this on because I think it is like a great opportunity for crocheters to break out some of these novelty yarns. I noticed this trend on Instagram. I'm not super into Instagram trends. I'm kind of doing my own thing. I do a lot of thrifting, so I'm not really up on any designers or what's happening, but like I said, I'm just kind of over the top, and I also like really soft fuzzy things, so this is perfect for me. Before I go any further, I know it's called mob wife aesthetic, and I just want to point out, I know it's common sense, but obviously, I'm not making any assumptions or implications or anything about anyone's culture. I am not, highlighting crime or encouraging crime by any means. This is just meant to be like a fun, silly, entertaining video that I think actually is going to help us use up some of these troublesome yarns that you might not know what to do with. So let's jump into it. I'm going to start with this hat that I just made. I've got a video, and it's on pairing velvet yarn with Kirshner's Afghan yarn to make it a little bit more workable. I kind of played off of that same aspect, and with this hat I used velvet yarn. It was just chenille from the Dollar Tree, and it was in their like kind of cocoa brown color. I'm not really sure what the color is. I don't think I have a label around here, but I paired it with some dark brown mohair yarn that I had thrifted. So this hat, I used 1.5 skeins of the Dollar Tree yarn. So I'm just gonna do it like I did too. So that would be $2.50. And then I paid $1 for this thrifted mohair. And so $3.50 for my hat. And I absolutely love it. It is super duper warm. And how it fits into this mob wife aesthetic, it's got those like luxury fibers. It's very soft. It's very fluffy. I'll go ahead and put in some footage that I took off of Pinterest with some mob wife aesthetic looks so you can kind of see. I never watched The Sopranos. I know it was wildly popular for a while, so I don't know if that's why this has got a little bit of a resurgence or not, but you can see there's really the use of a lot of those neutral tones, creams, grays, blacks, and a lot of those luxury type fibers. So, leather, velvet, chenille, faux fur, kind of used being, in different things as accents, which I absolutely love. Why I think this is so great for crocheters is we can use up some of these troublesome yarns, but they don't all have to be giant projects. This sweater that I have here, it's a sweater vest, and I actually just thrifted this. I am working on a very fun project in the making with my friend Litsa from Coco's Crochet, and we are going to be doing a thrifted upcycle project using crochet. So I was at the thrift store and happened to find this and absolutely loved it. But you could add a faux fur trim to literally any vest that you crocheted. This is commercially made, of course, but you could definitely do that. And I saw a bunch of pictures when I went in on Pinterest looking for faux fur yarn where you can just make a collar and then put that faux fur collar on top of any type of top that you already own. You could pair it with a jacket, you could pair it with a shirt, anything like that. I also saw a number of cute pictures and pattern links where it is like fingerless gloves with a faux fur trim, boot cuffs made out of faux fur. I mean, there are so many things that you could put that faux fur trim on, and it doesn't just have to be the faux fur. You could easily do something like this romantique or hygge, where it has that really, really nice fuzz. It is really soft. Putting it as cuffs on sleeves, cuffs on boots, again, the collar, anything like that is really gonna fall into that mob wife aesthetic, and it can be totally removable. You don't even have to put it directly onto the fabric. I've actually seen where people make sleeve cuffs and they use those slap bracelets to crochet around so that you can literally just slap it on there, and then you don't have to have it on your top all year round if you don't want to. And I have picked up, but I don't have it out and accessible right at the moment. I didn't want to look for it. I got some of those slap bracelets at the Dollar Tree. They were so $1.25, and I want to say there were 6 or 8 in the package. They were in the party supplies, in like the kids party supplies, and they were jungle print, but I picked them up knowing that at some point I might want to crochet on them, and you know, 6 for $1.25 is a great deal. So let's go ahead and talk about this hat before I show you my next project. Let me slip this off. All right, hopefully my hair is okay. I've had a couple videos where I've taken a hat off and there's like hair sticking all the way out here and I never noticed the rest of the video. So my hat here, what I have learned about working with velvet yarn is that it will stretch out a little bit, but then it never like shrinks back up. So once it stretches, that is its shape. So I knew doing this hat when pairing it with the velvet yarn and also this mohair that I really had to get the sizing right for my head. So I don't know if I would recommend making a hat out of these yarns paired together for someone other than yourself, just so you can get it just right. And I literally just kept wrapping it around my head until it was fitting around, but very snug so that it wouldn't stretch out too much. I started the way I do most beanies, where I just did crochet, half double crochet in the back loop, back and forth, back and forth. At the top, I always take like the last 5 stitches and do single crochet in those so that the top is a little bit smaller than the bottom of the hat, or so there's not as much on the top to be sinking in. I was working with a limited supply of mohair and I was a little bit more conservative with it, so I did run into problems that my beanie was too short. I did not make my rows long enough, even though I was like comparing them with a hat that I already had. It just did not work out. So what I did, I'm going to let you in on a little behind the scenes. My ends are not woven in because this hat was just for me. But once I got my panel made, I did go ahead and I stitched up the inside all the way up right here. And like I said, it just wasn't quite long enough. So I did end up going around the bottom of it twice. I did a single crochet, and then the second row I did in the back loop just to give it a little bit more of a finished brim look. And I do really like how it turned out. So it does not remotely bother me that I had to add some to the bottom. And again, like I said, since this is non-stretchy, it does have a little bit of a weird bell shape to the hat, but I guess that's just my head shape. So I got that done, and I did need to close up the top. And what I found is, again, I had made it, my panel just not quite long enough. And so I did go through after it was sewn here, and I did 2 rows of increase. Sorry, I did 2 rows of decrease, but I had run out of mohair at this point. So the very top is just the velvet chenille. For the first row of decreases, I just did single crochet, and then decrease 2, single crochet, and then I did the same thing on the next one. And then while it was inside out, I just cinched that, sewed through, cinched it together, and made a few stitches and tied it off. So I am very happy with how this hat turned off. I think that it just plays really nicely into that mob wife aesthetic. It's got nice neutral colors, but it is very luxurious and furry. So my next project is going to be made out of this faux wild native mink from Hobby Lobby. And this is like an equivalent of Go for Faux. I was on Two of Wands blog website, and there was a free pattern for a bucket hat, but there's a link where if you want a paid pattern without all the ads, because I mean, you can see there are a lot of ads on this blog, and that's just how bloggers make money. I don't fault the creator for that at all. That's just how blogging works. But there are a ton of ads, as you can see. So if you want a paid pattern for the bucket hat, she has a link and you can follow that. But she uses Go for Faux. And looking around Lion Brand's website, I think that yarn may have been discontinued. I know this yarn I got during a clearance sale, so this particular native mink is not available, but Hobby Lobby does have some other options, and I'll put that footage up here. And I would probably suggest, if you are trying to go for the mob wife aesthetic and you don't have any of this yarn, if you're going to be purchasing it, maybe look for more of those neutral colors. They had some grays and tans and blacks. I would suggest maybe going for those, or like an animal print. And if you've been around for a while, I love me some animal print. I don't know how long this viral trend is going to be around. It's got a lot of fur. I'm assuming it is a winter only type trend, and the next new TikTok, Instagram thing will be out before we know it. But it is still the dead of winter where I'm at here in Iowa. So I'm going to whip up a bucket hat made out of this faux fur, and I'm going to keep enjoying wearing all my silly faux fur trims and just ride this trend out, because it's just what I kind of enjoy anyway. Please let this be your encouragement to take out some of the novelty yarns. You could even do, this would be a good time to do an eyelash yarn paired with another yarn. Like, this would be really nice with, is it Karen Simply Soft? One of those like soft kind of shiny acrylics. An eyelash yarn would pair really lovely with that. With those, I would try to get the color probably as close as possible to matching. Take this as me encouraging you to pull out some of those trickier yarns that you have, the novelty ones that you have had laying around and don't know what to do with it, and make yourself a scarf, a cowl, a collar, sleeve cuffs, boot cuffs, anything like that to take part in this aesthetic, because now is the perfect time where people will just think that you are participating in this trend. And how better for us crocheters to participate instead of buying a super trendy piece that you may not wear long term. Why not just make it yourself for a fraction of the price? If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. Please leave a comment for me down below and let me know, like, what do you think of faux fur? I know most people hate it, so I would just love to hear what you're thinking after watching this video. Have I lost my mind? It is possible. Again, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me talk yarn with you. Bye.